I'm saying is that the way the NFL is going, it's going the wrong direction. You could be a really good quarterback and get elite, great money.
The owner tampered with Tom Brady to try to replace Tua, tried to go get Deshaun Watson, tried to replace Tua. But I think it's a mistake.
Trevor's finally got a big-time roster.
He's been good. He hasn't been great.
Trev's getting paid not because of what he's done in the NFL. He's getting paid because of what he did in Clemson.
The most hyped player ever. And here we are. That's how hard quarterback is. That's how hard the NFL is. We're still not completely sold on it.
Jordan Love is a player that this team has stood behind last year. For the last 32 years, the Green Bay Packers have had either Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, or Jordan Love at quarterback.
It's insane.
It's scheduled to go at least for another 5 more years. That's 37 years of quarterback stability. That should be the envy of many franchises around the league.
So the video on Tua was in the works, but then Jordan Love pulled up to practice in a Brinks truck. Trevor Lawrence got enough money to buy a small island, and I'm sitting here making YouTube videos for less than a part-time McDonald's worker. But either way, the QB market is still crazy and will only continue to get more hectic with more and more QBs waiting for bigger and bigger paydays down the line. CJ Stroud will eventually be swimming in so much money it'll make the average man drown. So today I thought it would be a good idea to go through and take a look at the last 3 guys who got a Brinks truck and talk about how these deals are going to work out for each of them. But before we do that, don't forget to like, comment, and also subscribe to the channel. We are on the way to 2,500. I really do appreciate you guys, and so with that, let's get into this video. So first, let's talk about Trevor Lawrence, a guy who many looked at and thought, how in the hell did he get this deal? How did he get paid this money? And you will have some people who would say, well, he did have a 27-point comeback in the playoffs years ago, but let's not forget how they got in that position in the first place. Yes, 3 picks before halftime, but I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I already lied. It was 4 picks before halftime. I had to go back. From what I remembered, it was 3, but it actually was 4. Let's continue. I thought just maybe that his breakthrough was going to be that game in particular because he was able to overcome the adversity. So through going through all of that, he would now become this top tier QB. But after that, he was just okay. Not bad by any means, but okay. He got injured at some point in time during this past season and did not necessarily look the same after that, but that's okay. The Jags just paid him a good chunk of change, $55 million per year to be exact, but it's not because of what he has done. It's about what they believe he can be. He has the talent, he has the accuracy and the power from an arm talent perspective. He can go off script if he needs to. He has the size of a prototypical quarterback standing at 6'6". So what is there not to like about a guy like this? So on one hand, you have this current quarterback market, and I get it. These are going to be the going rates for QBs going forward, and it's only going to get higher and higher. And in Trevor's defense, he was able to get the Jags to the playoffs for the first time since 2017. But before 2017, they had not made the playoffs in 2007. So I assume that the Jaguars do not want to end up in a position where they end up missing the playoffs through a 10-year span. The Jaguars obviously look at Trevor Lawrence and believe that they can continue to avoid playoff droughts like they did in the past. And me, unlike some, are high on Trevor Lawrence going into the future. However, his road is not as easy as it used to be. The Colts and the Texans are definitely going to be better this year overall, so we shall see how he fares in this new AFC South. The Titans are also a wild card in there. I don't know how good they're going to be, but with Will Levis, we shall see. Last year, Trevor Lawrence threw for 4,016 yards, 21 touchdowns, and 14 interceptions, which is good. But to win in the AFC South, he's going to have to, at minimum, play better than CJ Stroud. So we shall see. Next is old Tua Tagovailoa. My guy, the guy that I think the most people look at when it comes to these 3 QBs and wonder to themselves, how did he get this contract? And I know I said that with Trevor as well, but when Tua got his deal, a lot of people in the comments were having a field day.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Well, I guess there are people on both sides of the spectrum here, but I love the comment from this guy right here. Tua does need to be more consistent and take his game a step up this year, but even Dan Marino never won a title with that franchise, and he was there his whole career. We have to start giving these quarterbacks more time. Not everyone is Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes. But this is my guy, the guy from Alabama, my favorite team, my Alabama brother. I will say this though. You got to win more than one game against top tier competition, or I refuse to defend you in the barbershop any longer. But this is not the barbershop, so you guys will get my honest opinion of my Alabama brother. But first, let me say this. He has no excuses unless the score ends and it's 71-72 and the defense gives up a Hail Mary. The Dolphins are stacked. There is no way that this should not remain a top 5 offense this season, and that must include teams not named the Carolina Panthers. I'm sorry, Carolina. We continue to see how good this offense can be, except for when it counts or against someone who has a winning record. He did have a great win in a down-to-the-wire game over the Cowboys last year, but in the playoffs, yeah, damn, Tyreek, you got cooked, my boy. $53 million is what they're going to be paying Tua per year. Tua, I rock with you, but you gotta do better. It's just that simple. Especially when the expectations are higher than ever. I'm gonna need you to tap into that Alabama clutch gene or something. Last year, Tua had 4,624 yards, 29 touchdowns, and 14 interceptions. We shall see how things go for him in the future. He has Tyreek, he has Jalen Waddle, Odell Beckham is there, and it does not necessarily matter how you feel about him. He doesn't have to do as much as he did when he was with the Giants or even when he was with Cleveland, so he will get his opportunities as well. Talent is all over that Dolphins offense, so Tua, come on with it. Okay. Now for the main man of the hour, the highest paid quarterback in the league, the highest paid guy in the NFL in general, Jordan Love. The guy with less of a track record though, so there is much less to critique other than this past season, but he did look good as long as he can avoid the crash down after so much praise has been thrown his way. Not talking about anyone in particular, or maybe I am. Yeah. But getting back on track, Jordan Love shocked the world last year after starting the season out very shaky. They ended that season on a great note. They got to the playoffs and got a win in the process, and a win that a lot of people still talk about to this day because the Cowboys came into that game as the favorite, especially on their own home field, but Jordan Love came out there and got a win. And I think this is the time where a lot of QBs must be very careful. They have to double down on their craft and make sure they do not let the noise get in their ears. A lot of people right now are probably telling Jordan Love that he is the best thing since sliced bread, but he must maintain his focus, his work ethic, and I have no reason to doubt that he won't. And I do have to hand it to him on his success. The contract was well deserved for his patience after sitting behind Aaron Rodgers and then proving that he can ball. He got better and better each week, and now he has the keys to Green Bay. He is coming off of a 4,000-yard passing season, 32 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. He played great. Green Bay, in my honest opinion, has laid down a great roadmap to the development of quarterbacks, which is one of the primary reasons why Michael Penix was drafted by Atlanta. We will see if that works out. So shout out to Green Bay for showing people how to get it done. Hold on. I also want to throw one more guy in here just for a little bit of conversation and talk about how high this quarterback market may potentially be when it's time for this next QB to get paid. And so, assuming that everything is going to continue to go the way that it's going, and this rookie QB, who is now going to be in his sophomore season, continues to build upon what he has already done, and I'm pretty sure you guys can guess that that's CJ Stroud. I'm not going to hold you guys for long, but CJ will probably be in the realm of $70 million when it's time for him to break the bank. Maybe I should quit quit YouTube and become an agent so I can get me a cut. You know what I'm talking about? I'm probably not going to be good at that either, so I might want to stay in this chair. But anyways, whether you think these guys deserve it or not, all of these guys are a byproduct of good old supply and demand. Back in the day, people traded milk for bread. Now guys trade green for TDs. And I'm all for it. Get your money, get paid. If that's what the market dictates, don't take anything less. I know a lot of people say you should take less so you can win and supply the team with more money so you can build this Super Bowl winning team. I think the best way to go about that, if you want to do that, is the Mahomes route, kind of push the money back. But other than that, there's no guarantee that they're going to put the tools around you in order to make something magical happen. So get your money while you can and think about the longevity. You may disagree with that point, but that's how I feel about it. Because when it's all over and your services are no longer needed, they're not going to look out for you at all. But with all that being said, though, I will say this current quarterback market is entirely insane, and you don't necessarily have to be the best at your position to get paid the most amount of money. It's more about if you can keep that team relevant, and if you can do that, you may one day wake up and be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. On top of that, I can add one more thing in there, and that is hope. A lot of this and a lot of the reason why quarterbacks are being paid so much money is the hope and the thought process of maybe, just maybe, this QB can get this team over the top, but it's definitely getting out of hand. And if you watch this video all the way through, man, click right here down below. We can get into some more Jordan Love